Yo, what's good? Welcome to the stew, man. Fam North.
Volcano Beach.
Spells.
Yo, what's up?
Yo,
What it do, man?
what up, man?
How you been, man?
Chilling.
That's
Chilling.
what's up.
Busy and not busy at the same time. Just chilling.
Man, I feel like we always busy, even when we not working, because we learning something.
Yeah,
I
I'm
still
trying to
kinda
learn
feel-
something every day,
you
man.
know what I'm
Literally, I'm trying to learn something every day.
Yeah, because you be putting me on shit when you be sending me stuff. I be like, dang, I ain't even know that.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to learn something every day. I'm lucky too, cause I be on YouTube all the time. I don't be on regular social media no more. It's YouTube social media now, but at least once in a while, the stuff that actually I could benefit from pops up on the feed. If you just on Instagram or Facebook, well, not Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, a lot of BS pop up. You know what I'm saying? No long
Right.
form, nothing you can
Right.
learn nothing from, nothing. It just be little short spigots and then you go find stuff, cool. But I'm in a 10, 12-minute video so I can learn something. So that's what I do all day. I ride around in the car with YouTube playing.
Man, I love YouTube. That's my new social media.
It is.
The only reason why I jump on Facebook would be for Facebook Marketplace.
I'm addicted to Marketplace.
Right.
Man.
And the only time I'm on Instagram if I need some inspiration. So I type in like I don't know, audio engineer content reel. And I just see
Oh,
the
that's
different
dope. I didn't think
content
about nothing like
reels
that.
they making. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna try this one out.
That's
You know
dope.
what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just taking what the world is giving us and using it for my ability. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that's been dope. Been learning a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the video. Been taking a coloring class for DaVinci Resolve. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to color these videos, get them right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's just a different type of science, man. But it's dope though. You know what I'm saying? It's still it's just like mixing if you using the nodes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cause you get the layer, and then if you layer, it's different from a parallel. You know what I'm saying? So learning all those different techniques, man, my video's been looking good, man. It's been looking good. I'm excited to see how I end this year with my coloring.
That's dope, man. I've been kind of on the same thing, but sound designing wise.
Okay.
Just learning more about just techniques behind it and just flipping my mind in that way. Even just purchasing little small sound sets that come up. Not just like sounds, not drums, not hi-hats, but like helicopter sounds. You know what I'm saying? Anything. So anything that come up, just trying to reverse engineer and just looking at movies, reverse engineering things. So
Okay.
I'm kind of doing on the same journey, but just from the sound perspective.
Yeah, you recently what was it? Tag, shout out to Tag Pro Chicago
Yes, sir.
for all your AV, whatever you need, we got you. We just recently finished, well, we still working on this small short, and you scored it.
Right.
What was your thought process when you were scoring it?
I don't know, just looking at it on, because, yeah, you gave it to me scribbled just for dialogue. So, yeah, just thinking about, like, the type of music that would play, the sound, the texture in the room, the sound effects, just, like, little stuff we don't think about, like, just the AC behind us. Like, when you sound designing, like, yeah, that's something that if you're not thinking about it, it makes the rooms. It's like, it's funny. We watch the Tubi movie. Sometimes we be laughing, but a lot of those movies, that's what it be missing. Like super compressed microphone with no room tone, no nothing, no sound. People walking around, you don't hear no footsteps. Just like a lot of stuff you don't think about when you got to think about if you're trying to make something that sounds and feels like it's a real life. Like somebody feel like they there. Like it's like a little small thing where you watch a movie and you feel like you there. And then you watch a movie, you feel like you just watched the movie. That's the difference in my opinion. The way the sound helps pull you in too, because everything plays a part, the storytelling, everything. So the sound got to be a part of that too, because it could be the best acting, the best visual, best everything, but if the sound ain't right, it's not gonna pull you in and make you feel like you're part of it. So yeah.
How long did it take you to really?
Oh, that was a short clip, so that was only like an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Okay.
And that's just because like I was that came from automation, me panning stuff. So you can like, it was a little scene like he hopped on the expressway and the car went past. So I wanted to feel like it was from his head. So you saw the car go past, but if you just hear, like, what's that? But if you hear it pan, then it feels like, okay, cool, you him.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I ain't even, see, that's why I sent it to you.
Right.
That's what's up. Teamwork make the dream work, man.
Wow.
What's new, man? Anything that you've been learning to where that you was diving deep in, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I've been going crazy on the finally got hands on. I had used like a DM3, used the DM7 a few times, but you know the DM3 is not a DM7. Not in a DM. It's really like an enhanced TF, 96K TF. That's what a DM3 is in my opinion. But got hands on it, been using it a lot the last couple month or whatever, and man, that thing is crazy, all the stuff you can do on there. It's probably one of the best pieces of gear made in the last like 5 years. Easy, dog. Okay. Easy.
What you putting it up
like
against?
X32 level.
Okay.
Like literally, it's so much stuff you can do with that. And I don't even mean just like from the perspective of like live sound, because it's limited. If you got a band, like the band I work with, that board is too small. It ain't got enough outputs. It ain't got enough mixes. You know what I'm saying? But when you think about everything it can do, like how you can use it as a broadcast board, how if you ain't recording full bands in the studio, you can use it in the studio. Or it's small enough for you literally to take on set and get audio from like, maybe not running gun, like you need a bag stuff, but stuff where you got a table and you could just get sound from, you can use it for that too. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff you can use it for. Okay. That's why it's dope. And how easy it is to put plugins from your computer. Like you got to have a decent computer that got a decent processor, because you're going to have latency. But if you got a decent computer already, oh man, it just unlocks everything. You can put an insert on every input, every bus, every output. It's crazy.
That's love.
It's crazy.
So you said it's one of the best boards that's been made. But did you compare it to the X32, or you saying it's one of the best boards that's been made since the X32?
Well, I mean, like how you buy X32 and they could do so much. You just, most of the time, most people just use it for what they use it for. But you know, us exploring and figuring out all the little things you could do with the X32, that's what I mean by it. Like, it don't compare to an X32, because the X32 actually let you expand the channel count and all of that. So you can actually mix and take a full band with it. But X32 don't fit in my book bag though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that joint will fit in your book bag if you wanted to. That's the difference. So yeah, man. And what I mean is like, so we in a rare space, man, because like us personally, we on the level of, you know, big time front of house engineers. Like if they're a certain age and they've been big time for a while, they never even used the X32. Because they was already past that level when the X32 came out. So they don't know all the little stuff and all the little problems it can solve. And we touch the big boy boards too. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a rare space where we can compare things to each other. Am I saying the X32 is better than SD9? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's better than the DM7. But I'm saying what you can do with it for $2,000-$3,000. Now with this DM3, it's the only thing I've seen that's like on that level since the X32. Like you only spend like $2,000 and you get so much for that $2,000.
Okay.
Like I say, you get the Dante version $2,000. You got to grab you a TO for really unlock a lot of it, because you need some type of stage box to help you even if you're just doing corporate stuff, you still need a stage box to get to the stage, sound to the speaker. So you get a TO and a DM3 for less than $4,000. That's crazy, dog. All the stuff you could do on that board is crazy.
Okay.
So
and then I also recently we had like a little class that we did here, and the DM3, well, Yamaha has, is it called VST rack?
yeah.
VST rack, and that's them bringing in outside plugins to hook up to it. It's kind of like what Waves did with
Super Rack Performer.
Super Rack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, what you using those, and you was comparing them, what's the difference between those two?
Well, Super Rack Performer works with any plugin, but regular Super Rack, the Sound Grid version, only works with like your Wave stuff and a couple plugin Alliance stuff. So just me going back and forth, and one good thing Waves Performer has, I will say, the fact that each plugin you can tell how many samples of latency it adds. As soon as you put it on, it's right there under the plugin. Whereas VST Rack gives you a cumulative of like the whole channel. So, but I kind of like the VST Rack better because now I can see, okay, cool. My master, all my process, I may have 6 racks going. You could do up to 16. 6 racks going, and one of them is my master. And I see the plugins I got on master is adding 63 samples total. And on this first channel, maybe 7. Then you just got to do the math real quick. Boom, boom. Okay, cool. I'm getting 222 samples at 48K. Then I do the math. I figure it out, get a calculator, figure out how much latency that is. That may be like 1.7 milliseconds of latency. That's butter. Well, I got 15 plugins on right now, and it's only adding. So let me backtrack. The inherent latency is gonna add 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, no matter what, 4 milliseconds. So that means I'm adding, if you add that 4 plus that 4 plus that 1.7, I'm adding 9 milliseconds with 15 plugins. That's nuts. That's the time we in right now on a native board. I mean, on a native plugin, not Sound Grid, just USB, just regular USB B too. So this is USB 2.0. These boards don't even have USB 3 in them yet. So that tell you all you need to know. Like, we adding 15 plugins to a live set and only adding 9.7 milliseconds. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's, to be honest, your board going to front of house, the cable is probably adding more than that, or about that much. The cable from your mics going into the stage by converting, coming to you 100 feet away, that's probably adding like more than 9 milliseconds. You know what I'm saying? So you telling me adding all these plugins is only gonna be 9? So that mean if I'm 20 feet away from the stage, I mean not 20, 100 feet away, 200 feet away, the electricity of everything, the digital electricity of everything getting to the board through the cable, through the copper, plus the plugins, I'm adding 20 milliseconds total. Come on, bro. Like, that ain't even gonna affect them on stage if they got ears or monitors. Long as they ain't trying to hit themselves out of front of house is their ears. If you got a setup big enough where the speakers are actually in front of the band, they not even gonna hear that. 20 milliseconds, that ain't nothing. So that's beautiful. That's the time we in right now.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So what have you took it out for a live performance, added the plugins, and played with it around? Or was this all just in studio stuff?
Nah, it's all in studio for now. Cause I gotta perfect it. And no. Certain stuff was done before. Like, I've used
Super Rack?
Like, not yet, with the X feedback and stuff before.
Okay.
On a DM3, not one personally, but like on one before.
Okay.
So it was just a lot of lavaliers. So you want to use X feedback on something like that. So yeah, I've used that, and can't nobody hear it. Like, and that the X feedback may add like 9 samples. We talking about less than 0.01 milliseconds or something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, did you add it per channel, or you just added it like on
it's
a bus?
better to put it on a bus.
Gotcha.
Because if you're doing it per channel, then you just looking for something. Because that's a lot of things.
Gotcha.
That's because when you use the X feedback, you want to put it on live mode, because I think it's got 12 bands, and those bands release.
Yep.
So if you got 10 of them, well, that's a nightmare to have 10 lavaliers going at once. But 4 or 5 lavaliers going, that's 60 things going on. You gonna get something. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna bound something gonna go through. I'd rather just have them on a bus, because we do that anyway. We put all the lavalier mics and all the handheld mics on the bus, so you just run it on a bus. That was dope. Because I really got into it because I was gonna try to get that AID feedback thing.
Yeah, I peeped that.
I honestly believe that's like I ain't gonna say it don't work, but I'm gonna say that it's solving a problem we don't really have, in my opinion.
And what's that problem?
I ain't gonna say let me not say it's not solving a problem. It's solving a problem that's already been solved, but it might do it a little bit more effectively. It's like, okay, cool. So let me ask you this. So I could buy a plugin for $500 running on my laptop, or I could buy 2 Waves plugins that been out for years for $60. Which one would you do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I already bought those 2. I could get PSC and I could get X feedback and do exactly what that plugin is doing. They just made it so it's a little easier, and PSC, there is settings that you got to try to make work, and X feedback too, but they just did it for you. Like the AI feedback thing, you ain't got to do nothing. You just got to put it on and it automatically just starts working. But it don't have a place, in my opinion, because let me not say it ain't got a place. It's you giving nerds something to make their life easier, but we already nerds and we could just turn 3 knobs on this plugin. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that computer they sell with it, that's a good idea, but I got an M3 Pro. That little computer is not processing better than my M3 Pro that I got already. I don't care what you talking about you turned off. I don't care what you talking about you turned off. All I got to do is don't go on the internet. You're not telling me my M3 Pro is not going to be able to process these 2 plugins as well as that 1 plugin. Now, when I'm starting to do all the 15, that ain't got nothing to do with it. That's on me. That's my risk.
Right.
But we talking about just the 2 plugins. I'm talking about that can replace the anti-feedback, the AI feedback, D feedback. Oh yeah, I can run that on my laptop, man, with VST Rack. Yes, I can.
Okay.
And I get the same result. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
Because that's the whole point. With they plug in, you still got to have a host. You still got to run VST Rack. So you still getting the 4 milliseconds in and out no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So if you down at 64 at your buff for 32, if you up at 128, it's a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I believe they just solved the problem that nerds didn't need solving, in my opinion.
Okay. So now, what was the most, because I know you say you still testing it, what was the most plugins you had on a channel before it started crashing or it started tweaking?
It don't crash. What it do is just the latency gets crazy.
Okay.
Like, that's what I've been testing. Like, what plugins create what latency? Gotcha. What can I actually use? Because, the more we studio work, we want something that sound more analog, more real in our mind, more THD.
Yeah.
So we don't think about it when we mixing. We put it up to the highest buffer size anyway when we mixing.
Right.
Only we slightly think about it on console, but we don't even have to think about it on console because we just record off the console. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. We get them their vocals right back as it's going in. So we ain't even got to worry. It's just like a real mixer. So a lot of your favorite plugins, man, you ain't gonna be able to use them in the live setting. Not at all. So they add too much latency.
So pretty much practicing in the studio or just practicing with the Waves Super Rack or the VST. Can you practice with the VST rack? in the studio? Of course you can, especially if you got your board hooked up to the interface that you got. You can. So that'll be the best bet to do. Just
definitely.
Studio,
Yep.
which ones that you know you like, and kind of set your chain, and just be good to go live from that. That's dope. I like that. I can't wait to test out the DM3, the X32, and I want to put my hands on that Allen and Heath new joint too.
Yeah, the Allen and Heath getting copped. See, that's the only good thing and a bad thing, because if Yamaha made the DM5, if it was a little bigger, I wouldn't even be looking at the Allen and Heath. But we do music.
Right.
That board is not big enough for music.
Right.
That board is a Swiss Army knife. That board, in my opinion, that DM3, just put it to you like this, it's one of those things you better to have than not to have it. Do you need smart? No, you don't need smart. We've been doing gigs forever without smart. But if you got it, and at one time you like, damn, I'm so happy I got this. That's what I look like at the DM3 like. Because you can add more channels to whatever you're doing, by just having this other little board with you at all times, because it literally can fit in your book bag. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What if your board crash on you? Damn, I got the DM3 in the trunk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's how I'm looking at the DM3. It'll never be like a real board to me though. Unless, you get what I'm saying? Like, something like the Allen and Heath SQ though, the new QU5s, that can be a real board. Even though it's still a little like on the smaller level, they giving us 24 channels, 16 channels, 12 outs on the board, plus Dante.
Plus the
stage box.
Plus they plugins.
Plus they plugins.
From what was that? From the Avantis. They love plug-in package, which is pretty decent.
And you still can do inserts with like Dante.
Really?
You do inserts with Dante. So the same thing I'm doing with VST rack USB on the Yamaha, I'm gonna be able to do on the SQ too. Put inserts on the tracks with Dante DVS on your computer. So it's gonna be the same thing. Like, I'm gonna be doing the same. Like, the only difference is the insert point. I don't know what the insert point is gonna be. Can we move them around? What can we do with them? You know what I'm saying? But
that makes sense.
But I will say it's gonna be hard for them to top the flexibility of that DM3 though, because you could put an insert wherever you want, like on buses, matrices, the master, individual channels. It doesn't matter. You click the insert and you put whatever you want to put right there. You can use USB and Dante at the same time.
Now I see. Now I see why you say a DM5.
Yeah, if it was a DM5, if they just gave us and the crazy part, in my opinion, they wouldn't alienate their audience, man. Because think about how many gigs you worked that it was a QL1 on.
Most AV gigs I go to.
Think about it.
QL1.
That ain't stopping them from the QL5, because the QL5 is for when you need more channels, a band or something. And then that ain't stopping the CL5, because that's when it's really just music. And that ain't stopping the Rivage, because that's really big boy band shit. So I just named all the different levels of the Yamaha, in my opinion. So we got the big boy, the Rivage, we got the DM7 full size, then we got the DM7 compact, that's the QL. Then we got the DM3 that's down here just for like breakout rooms and stuff like that. They didn't make a board for somebody who got like $7,000-$8,000 to spend. This is stupid. Like, they literally, in my opinion, they could have killed Allen and Heath. Like, they would have killed the Avantis and the SQ if they would have just gave us 24 channels. Because you got to remember, like, as much as I like Allen and Heath and Avantis, they ecosystem ain't fucking with Yamaha's. Just the ecosystem between the boards. Like, you can still use an old ass Rio with a new DM7. You still can use it. Like, so you can use a old Rio with this DM3. Brand new board. You still can use the 48K Rio version 1. You can use it. It works. I've done it. It works. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know if they got it in the plans down the works. They wanted to see what this DM3 was going to do and how many people was going to buy a DM7 compact. but I believe they left it on the table, like people like us, people our level, that. So they basically made it so that people that do small little festivals, weekend band shit, small conferences, they basically they don't got a board for Yamaha. You got to go to TF. DM3 is too small to do that stuff. DM7 is 3 times the price of this damn not 3. What am I saying? 5 times the price of this damn QU5D that's coming out. 5 times. That's not an exaggeration. It's 5 times the price. 6. I'm underdoing it. It's 2,500. DM7 is 15,000. Man, I'd rather buy 6 of those. Than like one of those. Gonna got more channels. Like, yeah, it's a bigger board. 72 channel board. Yes. But fam, think about what I'm saying. Like, it's a 72 channel board. True. But we talking about for somebody who doing smaller shit where they only need 32 channels. You can't even get 32 channels on the DM3. Like, if they had made it so you could use the onboard 16 channels and add 16 channels to Dante, they would have, like, finally somebody would have killed the X32. It would have been over. But they didn't. They gave it life. It's still here. Because they didn't, the QU done. They didn't. They still gave them companies life. Because I don't think you're going to be able to just plug in plugins that easy on those boards the way I'm doing on the DM3.
Okay.
That's the only reason I'm saying it. Not saying that it's bad. And we heard what the DM line sounds like compared to like the other stuff. Sounds phenomenal.
For night and day.
I believe they gave some companies some life with doing that. That's dumb. Especially since like what's the point? Like, somebody spending 15,000 is not the same person that's spending 8. Somebody spending 30 is not the same person that's spending 8. I'm on the $8,000 board level. I'm not on the $30,000 board level. I'm trying to spend 15 to get the whole board, the stage box, and the rack, and the cases and everything. I can't afford 15 just for the board. So now I got to go somewhere else. That's dumb. That's what I'm saying. That's dumb. You need something reliable that's tour ready. Not Yamaha. He got you the SQ and they got you the new QU. Yamaha don't got a board to compete with those. Think about what, like, the TF don't compete with them, those 96K boards. The TF can't compete with those. It's only 48K. The TF only got 2 fucking like effects buses.
Yeah.
They can't compete with those 2 boards. That's what I'm saying. That's dumb that they didn't make a board that really can compete with people who doing 2-3 shows a week. Those people, they said fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like music shows. People like us, they said fuck us basically. So it's cool for like, the board is phenomenal for like a little small conference room stuff. If you got a small acoustic band where it's only like 3 of y'all playing, it's a great board for that. If you running a broadcast and you could get the channels via Dante and mix on and all that, because you get 16 channels of Dante, it's phenomenal for that. But like I say, your local and your Dante is the same 16. Is no 16 plus 16. And it may not be a DM5 later. They may have an update coming later where it's like, okay, cool. Now you could get your 16 regular plus your 16 Dante. If they do that, it's over. It's over. Like, it's over. In a board you can put in your book bag, oh, it's over.
Right. I feel you.
So,
I feel you, man.
like, you can't even have inputs from the stage and the fucking, like, local, really. Because how many inputs you getting from stage? 12? So that means you got 4 local left. They didn't make that for people like us. You know what I'm saying? Which was dumb. They should have gave us an option, because I don't want a TF. If every other board is 96, that's the only reason I'm looking at the wing like I'm looking at it. Like, if the wing was 96 and the fact that we can still use our DL32s and 16 stage boxes with it, I wouldn't even be looking at these other boards if the wing was 96.
Do the wing go to 96?
No, I don't. That's why that's literally the gift and the curse. That's why you can still use the DL16 boxes with it, because it's only 48. I don't understand why you make a board in 2020 something that's only 48K.
That makes sense.
The plugins don't even give you all the clarity and the depth.
Right, because it's not hitting the 96.
Yeah, that's the problem with the wing, man. It don't even go up there. Yeah, but the DM3 sounds good though, man. All the DMs sound good. The DM3 don't sound as good as the DM7, but it still sounds good, man, for a little $2,200 board.
Yeah, it was definitely night and day when we heard it at the warehouse, man. Like, it was just more clarity. I felt like the wing compared to, I mean, not the wing, that was the Midas we played it back from.
Yeah, the Midas. Yep.
That was the M32, and the
Yep.
M32, it just had more mids. It was mid heavy, and it was literally taking a USB stick, playing it in the M32, then we took it out, stuck it in the DM7, press play, and it was like, whoa. That was a difference. The high end, the clarity. It was a big difference. It was night and day for me.
Yeah.
It was night and day, man. It was beautiful though, man. Definitely can't wait to start practicing on that DM3.
Yeah, man. But I did find a way to use two though. I had put two together, Frankenstein. Yeah, two. You know my band 11 pieces. Yeah, I figured out. I literally got a scene saved where I can have an 11-piece band with two DM3s.
That's love. And you got your one as your main. So your one is your main and your second one is almost like your stage box?
No, that's with a TO. You still gotta have a stage box.
TO.
Yeah, you still gotta have a stage box. I'm talking about just the routing. Cause the point of really what I need personally with what I need is the outputs and the mixes. So each board, technically you got a mix for every output. So it's 6 mixes and 2 matrices, but the matrices can be fed like mixes. So that's 8 and 8 you got on the board itself.
I see what you're saying.
So I only need 12 of those or 10 of those with the band I work with. I would need 10 of those, and I still got a bus for vocal. Processing, a bus for drum processing, a bus for horn processing, and I'm using plugins on my master, so I don't need to send them to a matrix and all of that because I'm doing crazy processing on the master with plugins. So.
Yeah, I love my buses, man. If I ever, when I'm in a situation of mixing a band, like just at least I'm gonna need stereo, so give me 4 buses. Even if I gotta just do one for vocal and one for music, you know what I mean? Just let me get 4. If I can't get 4, then it's gonna be some heavy processing on them channels then.
Right.
Because the whole point, for me, how I look at it is, my buses is me gelling all that together, right? And then my individual channel is me fixing a problem for that specific sound.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I can't get that, then it's like, okay, now it's more like, when you buy pizza, it's already ready. You just pop it in the oven. You know what I'm saying? Those will be my mix buses compared to me just making a pizza from scratch where I gotta add all this in there to make it taste like that or something. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So being able to have them buses as an A1 helps a lot. Oh
yeah, definitely. You're right, because if I'm rarely in a situation where I got buses, that's the problem.
Yeah, me too.
When you working with bands and stuff, man, everybody want to hear, everybody want to mix. So until you get to the big boys where you got 40 buses, 30 buses, like the Waves, 42 buses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
now you're in a situation where you like, all right, how I'm gonna do this? Because it's a lot there that you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen one engineer, this dude had like 12 buses, and the kicks and the snares, like they all will go to certain buses. You know what I mean? It'll be a kick in this bus, and this one it'll be the whole drum bus with the kick. This one will just be kick and snare. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of different processing that he was doing on those buses. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I learned was instead of using gates, he was using what was them expanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Which was dope too. You don't really cut the sound out. It's just compressed. You know what I mean? So learning how to use those a little bit better, especially on toms, is amazing.
Now you got me thinking about the joint that Allen and Heath got with the gate and the expander together.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, that's crazy
tutorial right there. That's actually pretty nuts. Now,
yeah, I need to think about that. Especially now, I'm starting to, because I figured out a way to kind of do some of the same stuff on the X32 too. I'm gonna have to use buses though, because the X32, it's a little bit more difficult to put stuff on, like either it's all or you get a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like on the X32, to get Waves plugins on, you got to put it on everything. You use the Oxys and get a little bit,
right?
Or you do it on everything. The real super, the sound grid way, right? You got the sound grid part,
right? You
got to do it the sound grid way, where you put it on everything, or you just put it on Oxys. Because the problem is, if you don't put it on, if you go in and you say, okay, cool, I only do tracks 1 through 8 sound grid. But that's adding latency to tracks 1 through 8 then.
Right. Because
it's got to be everything. You know what I'm saying?
And so, that's why my focus with the plugins, with the external plugins, would definitely be buses. Because I feel like you were saying, if you put it on an individual channel, now that kick got latency going to that group.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got something on that direct channel, which giving it a little bit of latency. Then you got to go into a group.
Yep.
That's giving you a little bit of latency too. So now that kick might be a little bit behind everything else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my focus when I practice in the studio with the boards is definitely mix.
Yeah.
It's definitely my subgroup.
And it's everything. Just think about it. Like when you you gotta, that's why it's so dope. It's like a rabbit hole. It's never ending, and it's dope because now you got to start thinking about other stuff you ain't even think about. Like, okay, cool. Now my kick, I got to make sure that sub is delayed now, because the drummers used to boo and that just bang,
right? Because
they can feel it on the stage and everything. Everybody feel it. Now he hitting it and it's milliseconds behind.
That's the
so now you gotta delay the subs.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? Like, so it's like everything literally got to be thought about.
Right. No, you right. That's
it's like you changing everything. It's like the butterfly effect almost. If you change this, it's 9 things got to be changed. Because even when we was talking about one of the drawbacks of the X32 is to play around with delay. It has no input delay, so you got to play around in Super Rack to add delay on the channels. You feel what I'm saying?
I got you.
So it's like a lot of little stuff you got to think about. So that's why it's cold, to be honest. That's why somebody like Allen and Heath, to be honest, the big boy Allen and Heath boards, because they got the best built-in plugins on their board. That's why they really the best, to be honest, because you ain't got to think about none of this, because they calculating and doing all that if you use the inside of the board stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a D-Live or a Avantis with the deep plugins and all the extra stuff, especially now with the Avantis with the Rack FX, the Ultra shit, where you put the card in there, you ain't got to think about none of this. It's all built in.
See, that's
calculating latency, is doing everything.
And low key though, like me diving into this wing, one of the things that stuck out about it was my custom. Like you can customize anything on that bad boy.
Nice.
Like, you know how you got your tabs 1 through 16 and then 17 through whatever, you know, you can customize that 1 through 16 to just be all your drums, even if your drums ain't 1 through 16.
Yeah. You know the new Allen and Heath like that too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's liquid. Like
yeah,
they made a liquid. Like think about the wing and the Allen and Heath. We got 100% liquid boards for less than $3,000, dog.
Man, I love to be able to customize that like that, because now it's your workflow. It's how you see yourself mix it. Like it's there, you know. If I wanted my drums here with my drum bus here and then my DCA drums right there, everything is right there for me. You know what I'm saying? Go to my next layer. But how big the board is, I can have this section, all my instruments, this section, all my vocals, this section, all my effects. It's nuts, man. I love that wing, bro.
Yeah.
I love it. Even the software, like the software, and it's well, that's all where Behringer, because the X Air, that's where they really got it from, to be able to change something on a PC, then hit PC to mix, and now it just changed on the board.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So if you got, let's say, you front of house, okay, I'm gonna put it to you like this. So one of the churches I worked at, they got the wing. So my production boss, he brought a big iPad, like a big touchscreen monitor that's next to the wing. I got set up only for monitors. So if they ask for something, I just scroll over there, change for the monitors. Then he put another one in the middle of the church, because he was like, I always see you go out to the middle of the church. So I bought a pad, you go over there, and it got the wing edit. So now it's a difference from the booth to the middle of the room, because the booth, it's built up, so you don't really feel the sub like you feel it when I'm over there.
Yeah, because the ground floating.
Right. So I can go over there, change something on the PC, and then hit PC to mix, and bow, it just adjusts. So now when I go back to my board, my adjustments is there. You know what I'm saying? But having that, so dope, man.
Well, wait, you got to hit PC to mix?
No, you don't. So depending on where you make changes, so let's say like the screen was messing up or something, but the screen is hooked up to the laptop because it's just a window, right? So now if I do something on a PC or on an iPad, in a sense, once I make that changes, if I want to see that change on the board, I just hit PC to mix.
That's weird though. I'm saying that's weird that you got to hit that.
Yeah.
Because like on the X32, you don't. It's just you just control the board.
So let me put it. Okay, let me say this. The reason why you got to do that, right? Let's say just something during the show, it went out or something, right? I can go back to the PC, pull up my last mix that I built for that show, and just say, "Bow, send that to the mix." Now that pops up instead of going to scene and re-upload and all that.
Okay, so it's like a redundant thing, like it's saved on something else.
Yep. Okay. So I can make adjustments on. See, because you could do more. It's more quick stuff that you can do on a PC than you can do on an actual console being there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So being able to just
I'm talking about like the X32 like edit app though. Like when it's connected, you just connect it. It just works. You ain't got to say, okay, now do it. Nah, it's just connected. It's just like on a big iPad.
Now you know what though? Now that you say that the iPad kept going out that day.
Okay.
So that's why that probably kept popping up like that.
So it probably was like a networking error or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it like a control error.
Now that you say that, because now
the control protocols and all that probably got to be changed.
Whenever the board first pop up, it asks you, do you want to do PC to mix or mix to PC?
Ah, that's it. Or
yeah. Because
it could be just their philosophy on it. Now I'm thinking about it because you just said, like, I think you do got to tell the X32 that too. But after you tell it that, like, you ain't got to think about that no more. And
right,
because it's one-to-one communication. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just works. Like, whatever you do on the board happens on the screen. On the computer.
Right.
Whatever you do on the computer just happens on the board. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of because remember when I was playing around with that MIDI controller?
Yeah.
I had a laptop and what's that? The Behringer MIDI controller, the Mackie,
the
X-Touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had my laptop and the X-Touch away from the board, like to simulate like somebody at monitors or whatever, and it just worked. Like after you get connected to the control port on the board, you know what I'm saying? That's why that's kind of weird. Or is that mirroring what's going on and it's not really connected to the board or something like that?
You know what? That day, it kept going out.
Okay, so it probably was just some like
That's
just to be neat.
That's
to be,
exactly what it was. Cause I remember when I was setting up a church and they had the XR, every time I had to restart it or reboot it, it'd ask PC to mix or mix to PC. You know what I mean? So
okay.
yeah, so that definitely was a problem.
Yeah.
It just kept going out because when I went to go tell him, he was like, "Yeah, it's gonna have to be hardwired." He was like, "It's some network stuff."
That's what it is then. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, so that's what.
So when it's hardwired, it probably don't even. It's a different
Right.
type of connection because they trying to. I get it now. Because when it's a hardwired connection, it's hardwired. When it's Wi-Fi, I guess they just trying to make sure that this Wi-Fi connection don't screw you over.
It did.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, that's what they trying to do.
But also though, I kept having to do mix the PC because it was like the PC. What was the PC? Nah, it just kept going out. And I kept having to hit this one. I kept having to hit mix the PC though. So like the mix that I did, load it back up on the computer type thing. So if I wanted, so it's my last. It was the last setting that I did type vibe.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it probably would just need to been like reset or something or restarted if it was time to do it. That's all.
Yeah.
It probably would have stopped doing that. That's dope though.
Yeah, that thing kept going out. Now I really think about it. Like,
yeah, with these new boards, man, they giving us
Couldn't do it.
capabilities we didn't even dream of a few years ago, dog.
yeah, man. Now it's pretty much you get to use your ear the same way you use it in your studio. You can use it live now. The same plugins you use in the studio, you can do it live now to a certain extent. Like you were saying with the
certain
latency.
extent,
You know what I'm saying? With the latency now.
And two, deeper than that is like we was talking about it, like we just said it off the cuff, not really talking about it, but like panning law and all of that. You not getting precise panning until one that's a 96K or a super. Even if it's 96K, it still got to be super like tracked out, like super linear phase, coherent setup. Because how can you hear if you just panning like that? You can't hear that.
Right.
Like, you can, not with people playing. Like even if you in a stadium, like okay, cool. If you in a stadium and it's big enough that the speakers is out drowning what's going on the stage, but how can you hear a little movement like that? So you start panning the drums, audience perspective, start moving the snare over a little bit, hi-hat, toms, and how can you hear those little small movements?
Right. So what I learned was actually when we take it out of the center and we pan it, especially if you got a mono system, you just turning it down.
See?
Yeah, like you just turning it down. Like if you go over what I think it is, like I think if you go hard right, or like let's say 50 right, that's like 6 dB that you just turned that down because it's a mono system, and you going to the right, it's like,
Right.
oh, this is mono, like we just gonna turn it down.
Right. Because you got to think, majority of the time too, that goes into a whole nother rabbit hole. Like, what's the point of a stereo system? So if your system big enough, think about this. Your system big enough, or the venue big enough that what's going on behind the speakers is behind the speakers. Like, you know, like New Life, like that's big enough. Like, even though they don't want amps and all that on the stage, or most of these places are trying to get amps to make it so the stage volume is less. Okay, cool. In a situation like that, you got this dope sound system. Okay, so what's the point of panning though? So the people on the left can't hear the guitar? If you on the right gonna hear it? What's the point of panning then?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Remember the room big enough, like if it's 50 chairs wide, it's wide enough to throw 50 chairs. If you pan a guitar or a keyboard, these people not gonna hear it.
Right.
They not gonna hear it.
See, now it makes sense how the rock bands, they have 2 guitar cabins, or how they duplicate a channel and just put reverb on that channel and then pan one left, pan one right, to where you still get the width of it, to where it's like it's full. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah, that
I started thinking about that now. I'm like, man, I probably need to convert my system to mono. Even though, to be honest, I don't pan that much. Only thing I pan is like horns because I'm trying to make them sound bigger. But other than that, I don't pan because of that. Like, why am I panning? Especially if I'm recording a master. How's that going to sound? Like, well, I'm backwards. My bad. It'll sound phenomenal in your ears. Headphones, it sound great.
Right.
But in a room, like, you just pan the keyboard. The keyboard is just straight DI'd in. How do people on this side, if you pan in according to how they sit on the stage, how do people on the right going to hear the keyboard then?
So your keyboard is mono?
Yeah, it's mono, yeah.
Okay.
How do people on the right going to hear the keyboard then?
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even my horns, I don't pan them in the way they sitting on the stage. I pan them like so that I'm making my own depth. So I'm putting sax in the middle or trumpet in the middle, sax to the left, trombone to the right. I'm putting them under the vocals, so they not really panned. They just making a wall under the vocals, and the vocals sitting on top of that. And I'm cutting the guitar, and the guitar sitting on top of that, and under the horn. So I'm doing it with space the way I'm making them sit. I'm not really doing it with panning.
Okay.
So I really can convert my system to mono. To be honest, I would just have to get used to the sound. Right.
And for me, I mix everything mono in the studio, so that's perfect for me. My only thing would be I'll be cutting a lot because everything gotta fit, right? So if they hitting the low on the keys, sometimes I cut my keys up to 100.
Right.
But
yeah, I do too. Yeah.
If they playing organ,
then I just fucked everything up basically.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or if you got your main keyboards and you got your colors gonna be playing like low frequency type vibe.
Yeah.
So you can't cut that.
So he got one hand. Basically, you cut his left hand off. Basically.
Right.
You cut his left hand off.
Right. So I guess it's really about knowing your band.
Yep.
Knowing your band and how you can maximize their sound to fit the system that you got. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got JBLs, you're gonna have a lot of mids, right? You got QSEs, you're gonna have a lot of tops. So it's like also finding a perfect system for the band. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can tune a room to your best, but we was in here when we was what was we doing? We was tuning a room, right? And we seen on the X32 that 16 kilohertz was gone.
Cliff.
It was gone. And in our mind, it's like, is it the board or is it the speakers?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot plays. It's a lot to think about now.
It's a lot to think about.
When we perform, because we performers too.
Right.
Engineers are performers too, because we giving our all into this sound. We pick the sound system. We making sure everything is placed right and all that good stuff. Right. So yeah, the sound system plays, the board plays, the microphone plays. It's a lot that plays into being an engineer, bro.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like you say, it's a lot to think about.
Pick all of that, man.
Yeah.
Like, cause like I was saying, not to get too go too far. I was with Kick. I'd use a D6 Audix. I've gotten used to like the EQ curves and everything I make. I don't even EQ anymore. I got the same speaker, same drums, same board. I don't EQ anymore. I'm carving and moving stuff around. That's about it. I'm not really EQing anymore. I've made those curves a long time ago. I'm adding flavors with plugins and stuff now.
Okay.
So, but I really listened to the D6. I'm like, I think it's the one I got, to be honest. We probably dropped it so much because I'm only getting, I thought that was how I EQ'd it so it can come out of the sub more. No. When I'm recording and looking at it on an oscilloscope or whatever spectral plug-in you want to pull up, no, I'm not getting any top end from it. Because really? I start recording like every gig now. And I'm like, what's up with the kick? In the room is great because they got the sub moving. But on the recording, it just sounds like Dilla is playing drums. Like, it sounds like straight Dilla kick. That's what it sounds like. I'm like, okay, I'm not about to buy another drum, Mike. So we put a 421 inside to get all that top end. It's phenomenal. Steve came up with the idea. Like, yeah. He's like, yeah, well, just throw a 421 in there. Like, all right, bet. We're going to throw one in there. Shit,
so you threw one in
the drum, yeah.
You didn't mic it like kind of?
Because I want the beater. That's the point. I only want top end from this one.
421.
421. It's just sitting there. I ain't been using it forever. We got one we don't use that much. Like, we know what to use it for now.
Because I've known the D26 to have good attack.
Yeah.
But for you to tell me that,
yeah, it's
now
probably wrong. To be honest, it's probably something up with it, man. Because I put it because I like keeping my drum like certain. It's according to what drum it is. But the D6, I remember past years, I just set it in the same spot, man. If this the head of the drum, I put the mic in about that far.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to get. I'm looking for bang. I'm trying to get a little click, but I'm mostly looking for bang so my subs can move.
Okay.
So I'm putting it in just a little bit so I can get some of the attack. I ain't getting no attack now, fam. Shit just sound like I say. Let's sound like Dilla processing my kick, fam. You don't hear nothing. So now I put the 421 in there. Oh yeah, now it sounds like a real kick. Now I gotta reconfigure my board to put the kick in and out next to each other now, so I can like work them. But yeah, I got it now. I'm getting kick out of my tops now, like high end kick. So now it's sounding better. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
that's a new trick. Now I need two because I want one for the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I need two, man.
Yeah. I just took the clip off and threw it in there. I was like, man, if that shit start riding around, let me know. I'll move it. But just throw that shit in there. I ain't doing nothing special. Just make sure it's aimed at the head.
Bet, man.
It was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now did you record that day?
Yes.
I want to hear that.
Yes.
Yo, so we talked about the DM3. Y'all heard about the DM3. We talked about the wing. We talked about the X32, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like you as an engineer, you gotta prepare yourself for your battlefield. You gotta prepare yourself. Know what speakers you got. Know what mics you using, just so you can perform at your best. Every musician gonna have their piece of gear to perform their best, right? Yep. It's the same way for you. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I'm Fam North.
Okay, no beats.
It's the Stew. We out. Peace.
Peace.